This is like my new intro background or something, but we are officially in crunch mode for Wondercon. We have been for a few days now. I've been battling the heat, so now we're just officially in it. Tomorrow is 1 week until Wondercon, so it's Thursday today. Yeah, so I have a few things on my to-do list. Let me just read them off. And you know what? This worked really well last time when I just kind of worked my way through the list. So I still need to style my Elizabeth wig. And then I have Elizabeth's earrings, which should be super easy. I just need to run to Michael's and get some pearls and some silver bars. I need to figure out what shoes I'm wearing with Elizabeth. And then basically all of Frieren. I have ordered the staff. I have a wig, but I'm also debating not doing a wig and just bleaching my roots and doing my natural hair. I have like a few like ponytail, like blonde ponytails that I could use to like add a little bit of hair. And then I would just like maybe like trim my little front framing pieces a little bit shorter. Anything for the costume. I used to do it for Harley all the time. Why not now? So that's where we're at, but it's gonna be a little weird because it is gonna be in the high 90s this week. So I can't spend a lot of time actually in my studio because it's in my garage and it gets really hot. I was out there for like 5 hours yesterday and that was a little too much. So, but maybe I'll just go to Michael's now and get what I need and we can kind of start on that. And then I have some stuff to cut out from Frieren still. So I've kind of been like, okay, come in, cut stuff out, go sew what I have until it gets too hot, come cut stuff out, you know. But I also made a dumb mistake earlier because it was too hot on Frieren, so I just need to take my time with it more. I have the main dress done, so now I'm just adding the gold accents, and then I have to finish the gold accents on the cape. I'm actually like probably 3/4 of the way done with it. It's just getting the gold pieces all figured out, and then I have a couple resin pieces that I need to do for that as well, and I need to do the earrings. Okay, we'll add that to the list. Okay, and then I need to start just gathering stuff, which is going to be a nightmare. I need to find my elf ears. I need to find all the jewelry. Yeah, there's a lot going on and I've been too focused on Elizabeth, so it is time to focus on other things. So let's go crunch.
I am faking that this wig is a 360 lace hairline just by solely having a little bit of droopy pieces, knowing that I'm going to be covering part of the non-lace with the bun and then just smoothing these sides down over top of it because there are some like smoothed kind of bangs. There's just like a lot of smoothing that I'm doing for this wig. I also left out a few sections on the very top that are going to go over the headband once it's on to disguise what is left of the headband. I'm probably going to hate myself for that later, but it seemed like the easiest thing in the moment, and it'll be fine. I don't have to be out the door super duper early in this costume or anything. For the bun, I'm just taking little sections and winding them around my fingers and then clipping them down. I ended up hairspraying them like after every other one and then pinning them in place so that they would be more stuck. The Got To Be hairspray just truly acts like glue and it just holds them in place. The perfect amount for me to just slip a little bobby pin on like two sides of these little circles. The little pieces that I left out from the slicking back of the sides, I used to cover the very bottom of the bun just so that the back of the hairline was super covered. Those ones will also be a lot easier to move around if I need to, since they're kind of separate and easier to find. And then I did the same thing with the kind of bang slicked piece, but I didn't end up bobby pinning these down just so that I have them kind of in the right spots, but if I need to readjust them once it's on and I put them over the headband, then I totally can. There's a lot that is still loose on this wig that will not go into place until the wig and the headband are already on my head.
if the lighting is weird, it is because I could not be asked to pull my big light over from where it is. I suppose I could have filmed over there next to the big light, but we're already here, so it's fine. I have slow and steady been working to get Freerin together. I just attached the cuffs, and now we're going to finish attaching the cuffs. I have actually just realized, oh my god, I keep doing this where I keep sewing things the wrong way. So I now have to take the cuffs back off because I'm trying to do fancy stuff here and it's just not working for me. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, at least I realized it now. You know, in the moment I was looking at it and I was also thinking, this doesn't feel right. Anyways, the capelet just needs this trim sewn down and the collar attached, and the collar is all done and ready to be attached. I've been doing so much hand sewing and, you know, that's why we had to take that break. You know, we took just that real quick break, but it's looking so cute. It's gonna be so freaking cute when it's all done. And my staff is coming tomorrow, and I'm also doing my hair tomorrow because I do not have time to do the wig. Anyways, yeah, I have quite the list. I thought I was going to get to check some stuff off, but now I'm not. I think our skirt hem is actually just gonna stay stitched like this and ugly, and maybe if I have time to put the trim on, then we will. Literally don't think I'm doing anything different with the neckline. I might trim it back a little bit. Other than that, it is also staying like that because it'll be under the capelet anyways. I've just started painting the little resin details. So yeah, I'm gonna fix those cuffs, finish up the capelet. That's our update. That's our update. So, yeah, I'll see you for the next update when I can actually tick some stuff off my list, hopefully. Real quick insert. All of the sewing is done except, you know, I really should just go overlock around the neck hole, just trim it down to where I want it and overlock it. But I did leave this whole section of the hem raw. However, I found this gold trim in my drawer, so I'm just gonna sew this around the hem. I bought this stuff on Amazon, but I'm really glad I unboxed it now because this side looks great. This side is really scuffed, so I'm just gonna repaint this whole gem. Yeah, only the one side. I was gonna say maybe I'll paint both. No, I won't. I'm only gonna paint the one side. But we're looking like really good, like really, really close to being done, which is so exciting.
I'm making a little cover piece to just slip in between the laces on my Elizabeth dress. So I basically just took the length of the center back and made a 4-inch rectangle that is that exact length. And then I took my back piece back in and I traced the bottom hem so that it would be a nice shape for that. It actually ended up being about 2 inches too long, but I was able to just fold that over in the back and it added just a little bit more stability. I didn't do a super thick piece. It's actually pretty thin, so it'll move around quite well underneath there. If you have ever watched me make jewelry or belts before, this is all going to look very familiar to you. So my gold posts or bars or whatever they're called have a flat bottom on them, so I always have to cut that off with my wire cutters and then go in and make my own loop to start with. And all of these other pieces are resin, so I'm using a 16th inch drill bit to very, very carefully drill little holes in them. This is exactly what I did for all the beetles and everything. I've done this a few times. It's really not that hard. I'm just going really slow and being very careful. Once the hole is in, I slip the wire through, trim it to size, and then just make another little loop on the other side to connect the jump rings to. This round piece, I genuinely don't know if it is there in the anime, but I had extra ones, so I figured why not just throw it in. And also I hadn't painted the back yet, so on the second one when I was drilling it, I actually used the see-through back to tell exactly where I was drilling into the piece, because the first one ended up very off-center, so then I was like, well, no, the other one has to be off-center too. You know, it just adds more to the DIY effect of it all. For the actual, like, drop pieces, I'd carved these out of clay and then casted them in silicone in my learning how to cast silicone video. Then I poured these, painted them red, and I actually ended up going back in with more resin and fixing up where I had done the loop. And when I drilled that, part of it did come off, so I did end up adding more resin after I'd put the jump ring in. I figured this would just secure everything really well, and I just was using teeny tiny little drops of UV resin, curing and adding more as I was going until I felt it was secure enough. If I lose parts of these earrings, it will not be the end of the world, but I still will be sad about it. Once everything had a loop on some part of it, I just attached everything via jump ring, and I made sure that the earring parts, the actual parts that go in your ear, were facing the proper way compared to the circles. And then when I attached the drips, drops, whatever on them, I also made sure that those were the proper way out, because they do have a front and a back, just barely. I'm the only one that's going to be able to tell, but I made sure. It's the little things, truly. Back-to-back earrings today, huh? So for Elizabeth's earrings, I actually got bars that have loops or eyes on the end, so I didn't have to put in my own eyes, at least on one side. And then I just got this multi-bag of pearls because I am intending to use pearls on a different project very soon, so I figured why not? Doesn't hurt. And I just pulled out two of the biggest ones and then two bars, slipped the pearl on, figured out about how much I need for an eye, you know, by actually like making the eye. And then this is the difficult way to do it. Just guess. You know, just guess. I don't know why I did it this way. I also didn't have my wire cutters, so I was using these pliers and they sucked. But once I had that section cut off, I was able to just match it on the other side. So, you know, maybe that did work out for me just fine. But yeah, you just make another little eye. And then once that is all done, I just threw on some teeny tiny little jump rings and attach those to the earring parts. What are those called? I really need to figure out what those are called. I'm not a professional jewelry maker by any means. I just know how to open and close jump rings. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't film this part, but I have a 1/8 inch black ribbon that I took through that bottom loop, and I tied the cutest little bows you have ever seen, and that was the finishing touch for these earrings. I don't even know if she wears these earrings in this scene. I know she wears them for the wedding scene, but I felt like I was missing some earrings, so I made them. Ta-da!
I do believe, other than like a teensy tiny bit of hand sewing, we're so done. We're so done days early. It's Wednesday. We're so done days early before con. So that's great. Let me just show off a couple upgrades I made to Elizabeth real fast. Otherwise they won't get seen. So I added in a little panel little center back panel, and it's just connected like down here and then up at the top up here with some snaps, because I know for sure that those will be like sections that'll be like sucked tight, you feel. So in case there's any bigger like gaps than this, then it'll be covered by this panel and you won't be able to see any of this nonsense. I also added some snaps here onto the overskirt and then also one to the underskirt. And then I actually just went in and I cut, if you watched the skirt video, I cut the underlap piece because I wasn't originally planning to do the grommets on this skirt, but then for some reason my brain like wasn't working when I was doing the skirt clasps, and I just like did it automatically. Like I don't remember what really happened, but yeah, and then there was just some threads that were loose up here that are now gone, so yeah. And then for Freerin, staff is done. She's good, she's happy. This is the little bit of hand sewing I have to do still. And it's just that I have put a collar on the dress to kind of finish it up. So I have it just pinned and I'm just gonna hand sew it on the inside. Yeah, because I realized there is like a little teeny gap right here on the capelet. I was going to show this, so I was like, you know what, I'll just throw a little gold collar on it, just a little finishing touch. And I also did, this isn't the trim I was intending to use, but it's what I found. There's a little trim on there. I think it's cute. It finishes up the whole look, and you'll get to see it on me in like 2 videos from now. So actually, like the next video, actually that's really funny. I forgot that I was wearing this to Wondercon for half a second. Anyways, I think that rounds off our con crunching video, and it didn't really feel like crunching for some reason. I don't know why, but I had like a great time. I love doing con crunching videos, so thank you for being here, and I will see you next week. Bye! At Wondercon. I'll see you at Wondercon, baby. These videos are actually going up in order, like that's crazy. Okay, bye.